Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Oh, we're back on this couple. I talked about them a few months ago because, well, I can kind of relate to this couple, but kind of like the other way around because throughout my dating experience, like men have knocked me down because they didn't want to date me either because and some have called me crazy or stupid or dumb, or they told me that I was too masculine because I finished my like most of my dating was after college. I told you guys about the church guy or whatever. He was basically the only guy I dated while in college and my basically my first or whatever. But ooh, after I graduated, I kept bumping into white and black men who would tell me that they wanted nothing to do with me because I was going for my master's. And then I ended up dating the crazy Mr. Lockakey because he literally threatened his life if I didn't date him. But then I kept bumping into racism, hatred. Like, he hated me. He dated me, but hated me. But he only wanted me to take it so he could take advantage of either my wallet, my body, or my time. And that's one thing that Mr.NoHeart has in common or whatever, which I'm going to mostly talk about Mr.NoHeart, but especially lately while writing my novels and going over even political things, I keep noticing that some people only look at one piece of the whole picture of a puzzle. And so I dissect it, I tear it apart, I go back and forth. I'm as messy as, or my YouTube channel is as messy as my life, of course. So, but looking at my dating life and how even Mr. Thomas, who we started dating, he literally asked me to be his girlfriend on our first date. He broke up with me because I was writing and publishing my children's book. I mean, I guess the stupid thing I did once I published book 2 or 3, I think it was number 3, was that he, yeah, he ghosted me 2 days after I showed him. I was like, oh, look, honey, it's like I've just published my next children's book and I am writing 2 or 3 more. And, it's like, and now I don't know, it's like, I know I'm probably like, yeah, I keep talking and encouraging therapy and everything because I know for myself, not being diagnosed and people mistreating me and like just everything. But I know I haven't published a book in 2 or 3 years. And part of me wonders because I've written and I have stuff and material for my illustrator. She wrote me a few days ago. I didn't comment. I didn't reply because it's like to the point where even after Tomas, I kept bumping into men who are like, what do you mean you're an author? What do you mean you're publishing? And it's like nobody really knows of me yet or whatever because trying to advertise with disability life and trying to get my life together after being diagnosed. Because if you've been listening, you already know I'm newly diagnosed after doctors literally it's malpractice. It is. But yeah, let's just say yeah, I'm doing my research and everything for lawyers. Yeah, okay. But anyway, it's just while dating and talking to guys and stuff and like showing them my business ideas and Mr. No Heart, which I'm gonna get to him, but after like dating and stuff, I kept bumping into men who, you better not start a business. Why are you doing that? That's what men do. And then wanting to invest my money. Oh, you want to, that's so stupid. That's what, either they would say that's what men do or that's what white men do. And they would say the same thing about education. What do you mean you're getting your master's? That's what white people do. Why are you trying to be square? Why are you trying to be white? Why are you trying to be goody goody? Why are you trying to be something that you shouldn't be? Oh, so you're going to get an education to try to be better than me? This is all I heard. And so, but then when I stopped talking to them, that's when either they would hunt me down and sometimes they would call or text telling me, I know where you live, so you better meet up with me or come over or whatever. And yeah, it's like, I don't know why, but I kept meeting those type of men who would threaten me. Yeah. And I think part of the reason is because I wasn't diagnosed with my disability and my walking was getting worse. And so I kept downgrading, like, okay, I can't date great men. I can't date educated men because a lot of the educated men look at me and they're like, you're not dating material. And or I'm very bubbly, chipper, and every, like, literally one of my nicknames is Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls. And it's just like, you're so bubbly, you're so white, you're so like, you're trying to be this educated little white girl, and like, you act like so. It's like I kept downgrading and downgrading and downgrading because my mom would tell me, as long as you walk like that, no one's ever going to want you, love you, or marry you. And so I was trying to see, okay, how low do I need to go to find love? And then once I met Mr. Lockakey, I'm like, nah, I ain't going this low. But then he stole from my purse, and then I had to drive to his house. But now I know I should have, even though I was scared to call the police, I should have called the police. But yeah, I didn't because, yeah, I was like, since everyone kept calling me a liar because of how I walk and everything like that, and everything that I was going through because of my walking, everyone kept calling me a liar. So then I was scared that if I called the cops, they would accuse me of lying, and then I would end up in trouble, even though, like, he literally had my property at his house. So I drove to his house, and then he threatened his life, and then he kept threatening his life and punching holes in the wall and all this other stuff. So, but finally, after his grandmother passed away, I'm like, oh, freedom. Okay. So then broke up with him. But then I wanted the money because, yeah, he, it's like, this is the guy who kept lying about stealing stuff from jobs and getting fired. And then he couldn't get off of this special candy. But then it was like he was trying, like, I was starting to get myself together money wise or whatever. And I was just like, okay, you just need to find a job. So I would give him $20. Okay, here's some gas money. Go to interviews, go to job interviews. Because I was thinking, like, if you get, since I was literally, this is right before I finished my second master's. And so I'm thinking, once I finish, I will be able to finally get the types of jobs that different companies kept telling me to get. Because that's another thing. It's like I kept being denied by quality men and quality jobs. Because quality jobs, like, why do you walk like that? It's like, what's wrong with you? And it's like, you don't want to work here. Oh, you're overqualified. You can't work here. Or we don't have a working elevator. Oh, are you going to get that fixed? You better get that fixed. Our clients are going to be distracted by your walking. They're not going to take you seriously. You don't want to work here. Why would you want to work here? So yeah. So it's like, yeah, therapy, because yes, like, I see the patterns because I kept getting denied by anybody and everybody. And then my so-called friends, so-called family kept accusing me of lying and everything, to the point where I felt like nothing. And so since I felt like nothing, I was like, I ended up being this jerk's, like, punching bag basically, because it's like he used me. And then but after I finished my second master's, freedom, I was gone. I was like, you know what, you can't blame me anymore. If you do something to yourself, you cannot blame me. It's not my fault. Okay, if you do this, you did this to yourself. And so, but then I broke up with him. And then I was working at that drug and alcohol testing facility, whatever. And then I started going, teaching and subbing at schools and stuff. And then I was doing, well, other jobs and stuff. And I'll get to that, but I'm probably going to get back into that in the next few months. So, yeah, I'm not going to say like some of the other jobs I did, because if I do, then I'm going to take some of you guys with me, and I might even do some of them live, which will be kind of interesting and entertaining. So, but anyway, I ended up back on Plenty of Fish, and I met Mr.NoHeart. And this is where this couple reminds, oh yeah, and Mr. Lockakey was white too, so don't forget that, because I don't know, it's kind of funny when sometimes, like, I have girl talk with some people and I bring up Mr. Lockakey, and people assume that he's black, and I'm like, no, mm-mm. Just like, nah, this man white. He's white. Nah. Mm-mm. But anyway. So Mr. Lockakey, another white guy or whatever, this is the one where his mom kept saying anything that I accomplish is only because I'm black and everything like that. Well, okay. With like first watch the video that I've shown you in the last, several minutes or whatever, because this couple broke up. And like I've watched quite a few of different people commenting on it, and I looked it up because I'm still gonna go and watch the full episode, so then I can do another episode on everything that I've gotten from them and rewatch some of the videos from the past. But I relate to this woman so much, even though the race is switched, because it's just really funny because my ex was trying to, like, all he tried to do, just like Mr. Lockakey, was use me. And I finally realized that most men only see me as someone to be used because since I have a disability, not many men are going to want me. And so most men are going to think I'm going to be desperate and I'm just going to take and give and like take any man and give them anything they want in order to keep them. They got me twisted. They got me wrong. Oh, because yeah, when I broke up with Mr.NoHeart, ooh, it felt so good when I broke up with him. Because, oh yeah, and it's like, if you are wondering about him, I talk about him so much. Go through, like, I even started the series Why I Broke Up with Mr.NoHeart, but it's, in like the initials of that and everything. So, and then the oil change episode is about him. The video game and Christmas episode, both of those are about him. But yeah, there's at least 20, 30 episodes where I talk about him and I talk about his mother too, because that no good. Like, in my opinion, nothing but a bigot. She is nothing but a bigot. So, because even like adding her to the situation, I know I'm a good woman because this year alone I've had 5 men from my past try to call me either to get me back. And there's another video I just watched that I thought was interesting that I'll do another episode on, but it's kind of like some men, they feel like enough time has passed, so they think I'm going to forget about the stupidity that they put me through and the awful treatment. And they just think, oh, she'll take me back. And especially with my disability, some men probably think, oh, she'll be desperate. It's like, I'm sure she's single. So yeah, she'll be desperate. She'll take me back. I know it. But then they're shocked when, oh, I got screenshots to prove it too. Oh yeah, it's like, actually, did I take screenshots? If not, I can because it's still on my phone. But there was one guy, I was just like, why are you messaging me? You need to go have a good life. It's like, you got me twisted. You got me confused because, yeah, this isn't going to happen. And that's what happened each time this year. And each one, they're shocked and surprised. And one of them was like, oh, so what are you going to be, some old cat lady? And I'm just like, even if I am, I'll be happier than being with you. And I keep hearing videos of people talking about a study where they say married men are the happiest and single women are the happiest. And I keep hearing from even my own family members telling me, you are lucky. Don't get married. I have female family members telling me to make sure you don't get married. Because even a few years ago, like even 5, 10 years ago, they would gossip about me. Oh, she must not want kids. Oh, it's like, you need to talk to her and to have it. Like, they would tell my parents that they need to convince me to have kids. They need to tell me to date and pursue a man so I can have their grandchildren and everything. But now some of them, oh yeah, it's like they don't even want to be with their own man, and now they're trying to make me. No, like I said, for several episodes, catch up. I got over 400 episodes. I'm, yeah, I'll adopt. And if my businesses succeed, then I'll go to the male specimen unit and I'll do it that route. I'll look through the binders. But it's like this way, he doesn't have to worry about child support or whatever. I can get what I want, which are, it'll be my kids, my babies, whatever. And or I'll do the adopting and fostering too. And that's another reason I'm single, because a lot of men tell me, why are you going to adopt? They're not your kids. And, I'm not going to spend any of my money on kids that aren't mine. But then they have kids, but they tell me that I need to spend my money on their kids. And yeah, this is how, I'm going to start with this with Mr.NoHeart, because it's like this man, even with my car, because he got his car repossessed. And it's like, I knew he was kind of lying to me, but at the same time, I'm just like, okay, maybe he just doesn't want to admit something or whatever. But he would keep telling me, well, my mom's not even gonna let me borrow her money. My roommate's not gonna let me borrow money, whatever, whatever. And so this was a loan. He owes me money, but that one, like, with the money that he owes me, he's probably never gonna, like, because he's a jerk. And yeah, he I remember a few times where he told me he loves making other people's lives as miserable and awful as possible or whatever. So it's like part of me is just like, you know what? Take advantage of my creativity, work as hard as I can, start my businesses, do whatever, because once I succeed, he's going to hate that. He's going to hate it. If you've been listening to the episodes where he begged me to start a business, yeah, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But he would even tell me to lie to my family members and in order to use my car, because he would tell me to drive to his house the night before so he could wake up early and go straight to work and stuff. And then when his truck broke down, he didn't have a vehicle, but he would gaslight me, because I was like, no, I didn't want him using my vehicle, especially for almost a 2-hour drive up north to take his daughters to go see their grandmother, especially when his youngest daughter just tore up and messed up a lot of my property from my purse and my book bag. And then she would come up and tell me that she hates me, and I just had bruises on my body from her kicking me and hitting me. But then when I showed my ex, he was like, oh, that she didn't do that, you must have. And so he accused me of being a liar, which but then he would keep telling me, well, you want my daughters to have a relationship with their grandmother, don't you? Don't you? You didn't have that opportunity, so don't you want that? But so yeah, it's like when it came to using my vehicle, and also like for him, like he had such a terrible credit score that in order to get the new car that he was going to get, he needed more money. So he would never. Okay, remember even the the oil change episode, but then even the episode where I talk about how I like he messed up my car or whatever, and so I was driving to one of the schools that I worked at or whatever. It started overheating and stuff. Remember that story? Remember what he told me? Yeah, he told me to call my father, and hung up on me while he was at work. But whenever he needed me, yeah, he would expect me just to jump. And it's like not even like just, oh, can you get some money for me? And then, it was like, get it ready for tomorrow, the next day. No, he would tell me he needed it right then. He would tell me to jump and do it right then. He did that all the time. But then when I had to have my surgery, and when my mother passed away, refused to go to the funeral. And then even after my surgery, and I asked him to come and see me, yeah, you already know that episode. It's like, but then at around 10:30, before he would go to sleep, that's when he would tell me that he needed gas money, and shouldn't I loan him, or shouldn't I give him the gas money, because if he didn't have the gas money, he wouldn't be able to go to work, and if he can't go to work, he can't pay his rent. If he can't pay his rent, he can't take care of his daughters. If he can't take care of his daughters, then dot dot dot. And then he would start blaming me for that. even though he would spend all of his money on either video games, 420, and just irresponsible and everything like that. But then when I would invest part of my money, because I was working one, two, three, or four jobs at the same time, but then he would laugh at me. Yeah, when I started one of my accounts, he laughed at me. And I was just like, what's funny? And it's like, okay, you laugh at me, but how did you get that car? How did you get that car? And so, yeah, it's like it might be a two-parter because I can do a few episodes on this topic because coming from myself to Generation Z and even Alpha, it's like don't make the same mistakes I did. Like once you see a man using you, and especially if you need him and he's not there for you until you break up with him, because that's what happened to him with him. I was tired. It's like if you remember that the episode where after my surgery, after being in pain, after being in physical therapy for months until COVID started, and then it's like, because over 7 years, I called him almost every single day. Some days I couldn't because working up to four jobs a day, working almost like Monday through Friday, like crazy. But then Saturdays, it's like my mom got diagnosed with cancer, so waking up, getting ready for either lessons for my classes or for the other jobs, and then trying to clean up around the house, trying to make sure my mom was good with what she wanted or needed before I would go over to his house. But if I wasn't there by 4, 5, 6 o'clock, he would that's the only time he called me. The only time he called me was, when are you gonna come over? Was like, what do you, I have things to do. I'm trying to make sure. It was like, yeah, but it's like he would literally say it was like it was my fault. Because at the end of the weekend, when I said, oh my gosh, the weekend went by so quickly. And most of the time, I just meant, period, that it just went fast. And he would look at me, he was like, well, that's your fault. That's because you took so long. Even though he would turn around 20 minutes later with his hand out for money. He would turn around with his hand out for money. So you have an attitude with me for taking a while to get to your house when I'm the one working several jobs. And then I tried to start a business because he begged me to start a business with him because he knew I was saving up money to start two other businesses. But I had to wait until I was going to be able to have rent for the building or whatever. So he knew I was saving for that. But then he told me, no, don't do that. Do another business. And then next thing I know, 6 months into doing the business, oh, never mind. Even though I spent, because it's where, yeah, he owes me money because it's still at his house. It's still at his house. He had me spend around $2,500 to $3,000. And how much did he pay me back? Not a dime. Not a dime. He just told me get over it. He told me just to get over it. And he was like, well, you're investing anyway, so yeah. So yeah, that's why it's like, I'm going to be doing so many episodes on this guy, so I don't need to do a two-parter with this, but I relate to this woman in this video so much because like the guy she broke up with, and oh, do not go back with him. Do not go back with him. It's like, and it's like, who? It's like she's the one with kids in this situation, and it's like he's the one, or my ex is the one that has kids in this situation. But it's just crazy how much he kept wanting me to pay for and take care of his kids, and they have a mother. It's like I've taught, like, yeah, that's the mother who said once the orange guy was in office, she was gonna buy me and whip me until I die. Yeah, that woman. Yeah. So it was just crazy because dating this guy just ended up being the worst mistake, because even when I broke up with him, all of the sudden he realized all of the things he knew that he was doing wrong. Because even the 4 months he refused to call me, because yeah, remember I had that phone strike? Because I'm like, I've called you almost every single day for 7 years in our relationship. And it's like, you don't even call me after my surgery. You don't even call me after the funeral. You don't even call me after my first day of teaching at community college. You don't even call me like during so many, like, or even when I had to go take some very painful tests to try to get diagnosed, didn't even call me. Because I remember I would, like, during one of them, because right before my strike, I called him and I'm like, I had that test today, right? Oh, yeah, 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 I remember. It's like, oh, yeah, how did it go? Oh, okay, so you remembered, but you didn't even text me to even, like, not, like, no, mm-mm. So I remember I was like, never mind. No, no, no. It's like, tell me, I want to know. No, you don't. No, no, you don't. And then, oh, this is where the tea really gets hot because I broke up with him, or it's like, because when I started the phone strike, I wasn't diagnosed yet, and even after, like, I think I was diagnosed 2 or 3 months after he texted me, because yeah, till this day he never called me. That's the funny thing, because I told him, you never called me, and even when you tell a man what to do, because for 2 years before we broke up, so year 5, I told him he needed to start doing his part, because I'm like, I'm not your secretary, I'm not your mother, I'm not your maid. I was like, you need to start doing your part and calling me. You need to take a part in this relationship too, because you want me to take care of you and your children, your children, your children. And then it's like, you tell me, it's like, that I shouldn't be investing my money or whatever, and then I'm saving for a house, but then you tell me that, yeah, he's like, you want to move in once I, no, 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 you don't want to move into my house, no. See, yeah, some of you guys are like, oh, how much does she have in common with this? No, I have a lot in common with this person, because yeah, I was still trying to get my life in order because jobs didn't want me. I was going through it with my walking and everything like that. But yeah, I was like, and I was so close to buying the house too. But most of the money had to go for me to be diagnosed. So I'm starting again, but it's like, yeah, let's just say I'm doing, like, all the things he mocked me and teased me about. It's kind of funny, because all of the things and all the actions that I did worked perfectly. And now that I'm starting my businesses and everything like that, it's still slow progress, but I mean, even once I get a 9 to 5, I'm still going to be making side money from those projects that I worked on, and that I'm going to continue working on. It's like, and that's why I love the type of businesses that I've created, because once I finish them and post them, they can make money for the rest of my life. And I don't have to put another, like, an inch of energy into it other than the marketing or whatever. But, and he used to mock me or whatever for it, but yeah, it's like he wanted me to buy the house so he can move in, and his daughters, because he even said, how many rooms are you going to be getting? Yeah, he kept, like, and the thing is, he would just ask really odd questions, and I'm like, oh no, it's like, oh, I was like, I'm just gonna try to get the house that I want. That's all. He was like, yeah, but how many bedrooms? It doesn't matter. It's like, as long as I have the room that fits my needs. It's like, no, no. It's like, but yeah, I'm really curious. No, you're curious because you want to see if there's enough room for your daughters. There's not even gonna be enough room for you. You're not gonna be allowed in this house either. So yeah. But anyway. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too. There might be a part 2. Oops.